Hello, my name is Trevor and I'll be taking you through my website today. Um, I was excited to do this because it's the first website that I really coded by myself. I've only ever used Cursor and the AI agents making it really easy to do stuff, but this was definitely rewarding and I feel like I could take this a lot further than I can with only AI. So let's get into it. So, for the event center, I made a place called Vibes. It's a nightclub. So, first off, you have the landing page. Like any other page on the website, you come here first. And this basically just tells you what Vibes is with a cool picture to get you interested. And you can look at the nav bar I have up here. When you scroll over each items, they fade in and fade out, and each one takes you to the other pages of the website. And from anywhere on the website, you can click Vibes and it'll take you back home. And so that's basically the landing page. You can see the code right here. It's a under header nav bar. The trick we learned in a module to use input type checkbox to make it so that when you're on a phone, the nav bar becomes the hamburger, and you have the links right here. And as you can also see, on the phone, it looks pretty good as it would be on a desktop. So jumping over to events, this is just where you would go next naturally because there's a button leading you to it. So you have 3 events. Each, let me show you the events CSS. So we have the event container, event image, event details. That is what we learned about Flexbox. I chose to use Flexbox for laying out the whole website. I think it's kind of intuitive. Yeah, and here's another button which will take you to location, but we're going to go to menu first. So, as any good nightclub, you have drinks, apps, and entrees. And there's a hover element to these tables that, you want nachos, you scroll over it, see what it has inside, see if the price is right for you. $6, that's not bad. I haven't seen nachos for $6 in a long time. And then, yeah, basically, it's just, I'm pretty happy with how a lot of this turned out. So these, if we go over here to menu on the CSS, the table row hover, that's how we got this effect. And basically we have containers for each table, which is how we got the background to be this gray color. We added that background color to the tables, so I think that looks nice on the maroon background we have going on. And then we go next to location. So this was pretty cool, and it kind of makes me think that maybe all development kind of is like this, because I took a map from Google's and embedded it in the code by going to location, HTML, and we have iframe, source, long URL. Basically like how you do an image or how you put a video on there. It was really simple. I thought it was going to be a lot harder. But you scroll over it and it has an animation that I put on there. I looked up some of these animations on Google. I didn't learn these from the modules. So we have pulse, which it changes color when you hover over, because you have iframe hover, animation, pulse, 2 seconds, and right here you see the box shadow teal. That's how you get that hover effect. And like any nightclub webpage you would go to, you need to know what time they're partying, and basically from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. on the weekdays and some other hours during the weekends. And you finally have the contact us, which I was excited about this part because from everything else about the website, it's pretty much been column, column, column. Well, that's a row, but I don't know. Something about this made me excited. And we have name, email, message, send message. So all of that is basically using label input. I can show you under contact HTML. Also, all of the HTML files are held within a folder, HTML. All the CSS, images, README, file structure. So we have form. I used form, action, number sign, and then I made 2 field sets, one for name and email and one for message and the button, to break everything up a little bit. And you can see this picture also has the pulse animation. And if you click vibes, it takes you right back to the landing page. So this has been fun. I'm excited to learn more. So yeah, thank you.